So I'm just going to talk to you about nail cutting. Obviously some of you may not be confident doing this at home, but if you do feel you want to give it a go, I use these clippers. They're Miller's Forge, but obviously other brands are available. But I find these really good because you can just cut off a very thin sliver of the nail at a time without having to go in and cut off a big chunk if you're not sure where the quick is. So to start off, just don't go in and grab the foot straight away, particularly if you know your dog's not happy about having his feet handled. Go down the leg, just gently go down, lift his foot. Dex is already lifting his foot for me. Just hold it gently, don't squeeze or pull it, and just position the nails over the end of the nail, sorry, the clippers over the end of the nail. Just gently squeeze before you go straight into the cut, and that way you'll know whether you're getting too close to the quick. A little squeeze, and then if he's all right with that, you can cut. And there, I literally just took the end off Dexter's nail there because I've done them quite recently, so he didn't need them cutting a lot. Some dogs don't like having their feet held that way, so you can always flip the foot. It's all right, baby. Flip the foot backwards and get in behind. You can also reveal, then you can actually see the tip of the nail through the clippers if you need to. I won't show you here because he, as I say, he has recently had his nails done, so he's not happy about having them done again. If you're not confident about cutting nails, please don't do it because if it goes wrong, it could put him off having his nails clipped next time he comes to visit me. There are tips and tricks for keeping the nails short, running around on hard ground, throwing a ball so they're running up and down hard ground. I know we're not allowed out for long walks too often, but if you can find a bit of hard ground or pavement where there aren't people around, a good walk on there will help to wear them down naturally without having to cut them. I'll also share a link to a really good Facebook group on nail maintenance, which will help, particularly for those dogs who are quite nervous having their nails cut, which hopefully will help. But just, yes, if you do want to have a go at cutting the nail, one thing I forgot to say was when you cut, you're holding the clippers at a slight angle so that the nail is cut slightly at an angle, so the top is slightly longer than the bottom, which kind of mirrors the natural wearing of the nail. And hopefully that will help you. Right, a couple of people have actually asked me about trimming their dog's fringes and around the eyes. What I would say is, if you're going to give it a go, really use absolute caution and don't do it unless you're feeling pretty confident about it, and make sure you've got him firmly secured. Probably don't do it on your own, have someone there holding him steady, and just don't go too close, I would say. Obviously I would get very close to the eyes, but I would recommend you just get off the worst of the length if he really is struggling to see. Give his fringe a bit of a comb forward. You need a decent pair of scissors. Obviously you're not all going to go out and buy dog grooming scissors, but at least a decent sharp pair would be good. And just start from the centre. Probably best if we come to the left of me. Start from the centre, just rest the scissors on there, on the bridge of his nose. Just take the very ends off, I would suggest. You can do it again. Obviously I would go a bit closer, but for you at home, just take the very ends off just to get the worst off. And again, you're going from the centre to the corner of the eye to try and get a bit of shape. Obviously I'm not expecting him to look perfect. For the corners of the eyes, these bits here, obviously they grow up, they tend to stick in the eye, they're not great. Teeny tiny pair of scissors I would suggest. And just for you, normally I would go right in and just snip. For you, just take off the very ends going around like that, just to get the worst of the length off. Don't try and get in really close yourselves, because if there's a sudden movement from the dog, or you know, you have a slip of the hand, then your scissors are in his eye and that's a disaster.